Today we're diving into a controversial subject. Why might democracy not actually be working? We will look at a new research by Mike Benz, which sheds light on how democratic institutions might be anything but, using examples like USAID's influence operations. We are not here to advocate for any specific government system, but we will question if what we have is truly democracy. Let's start with a provocative thought. Is democracy just a well-disguised form of control? Mike Benz, a former US State Department official, has come forward with research suggesting that organizations like USAID, under the guise of promoting democracy, actually engage in covert operations to influence foreign governments and elections. His findings indicates these actions are often to align foreign policies with US strategic interests, not with the democratic will of people in those countries. Benz claims USAID manipulates online discourse, funds opposition groups, and censors information to sway public opinion or destabilize governments. Is this democracy or is it neocolonialism with a democratic mask? Consider this: we have media manipulation, using media to shape narratives that favor certain political outcomes. Election interference, funding or supporting candidates or groups that will advance specific geopolitical agendas. Social engineering, creating or supporting movements under the banner of democracy that align with foreign policy goals. If democracy is supposed to be about the people's choice, how can these actions be justified under democratic banner? Are we seeing a global pattern where democracy is less about choice and more about control? Let's bring it home to Australia with its two-party system. Here's the kicker: lack of real choice. Despite elections, the policies and outcomes from either major party often converge on major issues, suggesting a predetermined path regardless of who is in power. The influence of corporations, lobbies, and international pressures often dictate policy more than public will. Is this really democracy, or is it a managed choice? There is a cynicism around how elections are run, with gerrymandering, media bias, and selective funding that can tilt outcomes in favor of maintaining the status quo. If democracy means rule by the people, how does this system reflect that in Australia or anywhere where similar dynamics play out? This leads us to a critical point. If democracy is manipulated by external or internal forces, can we call it democracy at all? Let's look at the global patterns. Ben's research suggests a pattern where democracy is used as a tool for geopolitical strategy. In many nations, including democratic ones, the influence of money, media, and foreign interests often dictates governance more than the vote. Are we voting for change or just for variations of the same policy direction with the illusion of control? Democracy should be about the free and fair expression of the population's will. But what if that will is consistently overridden or manipulated? Let's stir the pot a bit more. If democracy is about choice, transparency, and representation, how do we reconcile these ideals with the realities of influence operations, media control, and systematic biases in governance? Could it be that what we call democracy is actually a sophisticated system of control that benefits a few at the expense of the many? In an era where information can be manipulated, votes can be influenced, and policy can be dictated by the external forces, what does democracy really look like? This isn't about advocating for another system, but questioning whether we misunderstood or misused the term democracy. So, is democracy truly what we have, or are we living in a cleverly disguised oligarchy, or even plutocracy? I invite you to dive deep into these questions, share your thoughts, challenge these ideas, and if you are intrigued by how systems of governance really work, subscribe for more. Remember, real change begins with questioning the status quo.